My name is Lance Porter. I work for the Green River District for the Bureau of Land Management. So we're grateful to be able to be here. We appreciated the opportunities, the things we learned yesterday. We had a great summit so far. I think we've had some good, insightful discussions, and it's been beneficial. BLM Utah is laid out with the state director, who's Greg Sheehan, and he's in our Salt Lake office. And then underneath him, we have 5 districts. And through them 5 districts, the Green River District is just one of those districts. And in the Green River District, we have the Vernal Field Office and the Price Field Office, both of which are under my opportunity to work with the wonderful employees and the resources which we manage. The Vernal and Price Field Office makes up 4.2 million acres. It's a lot of land to cover, but we've got some wonderful resources, and you can just tell on this photo the vast amount of resources, wonderful area in which we manage, the opportunities that we have out on our public lands. The BLM's mission is to sustain the health of the public lands for the current and future generations. The BLM manages more surface land and subsurface mineral estate than any other government agency in the United States. The BLM manages approximately 30% of the nation's minerals. BLM's Organic Act, or FLPMA for short, the Federal Land Policy and Management Act of 1976, established BLM's multiple use mission. And I want you to know that we're committed to those multiple uses. We believe that managing multiple uses on our public land is beneficial. I think that we can have multiple things going on at the same time. That mandate to manage for a variety of uses includes not only minerals, but livestock grazing, recreation, timber harvesting, and many other uses. The mandate also requires BLM to conserve natural, cultural, and historic resources for the present and future generations. The mandate states that the resources and uses on the public land must be utilized in balanced combination that will meet the best needs of the people. The last few years, our visitation to our public lands in Utah has drastically increased. We're seeing more and more visitors, more people utilizing our public lands. And not only are people coming to recreate on our public lands and to utilize them, but they're also getting more involved in our NEPA process. They're making more comments, and it becomes more challenging for us as a federal agency. But I want you to know that we're up for the challenge. We have some wonderful staff and employees that work throughout our agency. In the Green River District, many of them employees are here with us today. They do a fantastic job. They know how to manage all of those resources. And not only they know how to manage them, but they know how to finesse public comments, the scrutiny that our agency gets, how to prepare documents that are defensible, how to write national environmental assessments and comply with the NEPA Act in order to make them decisions defensible. We understand sometimes it can be challenging, and we have a challenging job, but we want you to feel comfortable to come in, visit with us. Let's look at your proposal. Some of the best things that we can do, if you have a proposal and you're just not sure about it, it can be very beneficial to come in and go, hey, here's where we're looking at putting this pipeline. Then we can look at other uses that might be in conflict and whether or not there's concerns. You might then be able to modify your proposal, come in with operator-committed measures, and those operator-committed measures can then decrease those impacts, and that makes it easier when we're writing those impacts in the environmental assessment or covering that NEPA document. The multiple-use mission, of course, makes it challenging, which I mentioned, but we have the skills to do it, and we're ready to work with you. The economy, we talked just a little bit about this yesterday. I just thought I'd bring it up one more time. This is just amazing to me, and these numbers are astounding when you look at them. But the Office of Natural Resource and Revenue, that Office of Honor is the office that's charged with tracking all of the monies coming in and out and the government royalties that come off of the mineral. And so as you look at that from October 2022 to May 2023, they've collected $206 million with federal minerals within the state of Utah. Out of that, why the Green River District, between the Vernal office and the Price office, 87% of that comes out of the Green River District. So pretty astounding numbers. And then of course 50% of that revenue comes back to the state of Utah. And then there's additional revenue from Indian trust assets which are not calculated in this amount. Some of the most recent things that have happened, some of these are not new, many of you are familiar with them, but this summer in June, the Trans-West Express transmission line had its groundbreaking ceremony. BLM finished the decision, it's gone through the process, and we broke ground in Sinclair, Wyoming in June. That project starts in Sinclair and goes to Delta, Utah, and that's that black line which you can see on the map going across the center part of just south of Vernal. The Gateway South was approved a few years ago. They're stringing wires. All of the towers are in. Work is progressing and moving forward. And then, of course, there's a couple of other smaller solar collector lines on that map with Horn Shadow near Castledale and then Graphite near Wellington, Utah. So I'm now going to turn the time over to Roger. He's going to talk a little bit about the BLM permitting process, but if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us. We look forward to working with you. Thank you.